Hello there, I'm Ren and welcome back to another video on one of my favorite note-taking apps, RemNote. If you haven't checked out my past RemNote videos, I would highly encourage you to do so before checking out this one. I also have a full video on my studying routine in RemNote coming up very soon, featuring my full workflow. Today, we're going to take a quick dive into a feature that's very new and actually really beautifully designed. If you all have been watching my recent videos, you'll know that I love the graph view features of Roam Research and Obsidian, but you're actually able to have a graph for your notes on RemNote as well. As some of you may know, RemNote has an extremely powerful plugin system where users are able to create and incorporate their own plugins. Today, we're going to be focusing on my personal favorite, the graph plugin created by Nonvu. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly and didn't just completely butcher it, but this plugin is absolutely amazing, and I'm sure that all RemNoters out there are definitely going to thoroughly enjoy this. Once again, I'm super grateful for the RemNote developers to make all of this possible, so sending out a huge thank you to them. Alright, so let's dive into the basic features of this plugin. I'll go over how to install this plugin at the very end of the video, so make sure to stay tuned for that. The most obvious and basic feature of the plugin is that it's a graph that can display connections between all of your notes. So how exactly does it do this, and what exactly does it look like? You can go ahead and check out the GitHub page for Nonvu's plugin code if you're interested in the specifics, which I'm including in the description of this video, but we're going to go over a basic overview of everything right now. Okay, so something important to note about what the graph actually produces is that it actually displays all of your bullet points. What I mean is that unless you're taking short notes, everything else will not show up on the screen. Only certain segments of the actual bullet point itself can be shown, since your entire note is probably pretty long. I would say that this is probably the biggest con of the feature itself, if I want to be extra nitpicky about it, since it's actually really wonderful already. But this is an aspect that I would definitely look out for, and I think can definitely be improved as well. What I don't like about this is that instead of only seeing pages that I've linked to, or concepts that I've linked to, I'm actually viewing every single bullet point of information I've ever typed, which I don't necessarily want to view all at once. And you guys have heard me mention this in many of my other videos in the past. I'm only actually taking some bullet points that I need for information, and then I'm only creating flashcards based on those ideas. So say I only want to see one part of a bullet point. I'm not actually able to do this within the graph feature itself, so I would find it a lot more helpful if I'm actually only able to see a graph of my links instead of the entire bullet point. It's also a little bit harder to see connections this way, since it's not exactly the way you're linking information with your references by typing those two brackets around your concept. So honestly, although this graph has been quite helpful for me, I haven't been able to take full advantage of it, as it's not helping me as much as I'd like to form those connections through the linking features of RemNote. Roam Research and Obsidian do this pretty well, which I'll go over in a comparison video that's coming up very soon. Okay, so let's dive into a little bit of the pros, since I kind of gave you the dark features a little bit earlier. Something that's actually pretty good about the feature is the ease of adding it to your Rem page. All you have to do is type /graph and the graph automatically pops up on your screen. It's super convenient, quick, and easy to remember, which is something that's really important. You don't want to be forgetting all of those shortcuts while you're typing your notes. Basically, you can have a graph show up on any of your Rem pages individually, whether it's within a bullet point or a document or a folder, or really anything at all. Okay, now getting down to a few of the options you have on your graph. There's only 3 buttons, so it's pretty straightforward. The first one is called Center, which basically just centers the graph to be zoomed in and in the center of the screen to include everything that's being displayed. Pretty self-explanatory. The second option is Refresh, which will refresh your graph when you're adding new information, for example, like when you're updating your notes live and you need everything to show up on the graph too. This will basically be like a refresh of your screen, but only within the graph itself. The last option is Rearrange, which basically moves all of your bullet points back to their original position that the program set them up as. So another thing I want to mention is that whenever you hover your mouse over a specific point on the graph, you'll see that the rest of the graph becomes more transparent and the main branch you're on becomes focused in. This way, you're able to draw attention to only certain notes instead of the entire document or folder. Another thing I want to mention is that you're actually able to drag around each of these bullet points and interact directly with your graph and interact with your notes. When you want to return those points back to their original spots, just click Rearrange and the program organizes everything for you for ease of access. You can also click on the bullet to reveal all of the text. So as I said earlier, some of the text is concealed because if your bullet is too long, you won't be able to see all of it, but you can just simply click on it and then it will reveal all of it. It seems that the display shows all folders and documents as yellow points on the graph, while smaller bullet rems are displayed as red points. You're actually able to customize what is displayed on the graph depending on what is showing up on your rem page. So let me explain that a little bit. If I collapse a few of the bullet points on my screen, they also no longer show up on my graph. If I reveal some other hidden bullets, they suddenly show up on my graph. In between all those changes though, make sure you're clicking the refresh button so everything actually will update on your graph. As for the aesthetic features of this plugin, you're looking at a pretty beautiful display. I would love it even more if the background was customizable and maybe with some fun animations when interacting with the points, but the existence of this plugin itself is already more than I could ever have asked for. Please comment below and let me know what you guys think about it. I think there could definitely be some improvements that could be made, but overall I've absolutely been blown away by the amazing features. Alright, so how do I actually install this plugin? It's actually pretty simple. Head over to this link, remnote.io/plugins. The first thing you'll notice pop up on your screen is this graph plugin. Go ahead and click the button that says add it to your account, and then test it out by going into a document and typing /plugins and clicking the graph plugin, or just by typing /graph. The vast benefits you get along with this plugin are so amazing, so make sure you go pick it up immediately. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'd be more than happy to help you out. Also, let me know what you think about this new plugin, and please recommend this video to a friend who might need it. Make sure to check back next week for a brand new video and turn on your post notifications. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel because it truly does help me out. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you all very soon.